Places 2023. And in fact, this workshop is a continuation of a longer tradition, because we had the previous sessions of the Sustainable Places also a clustering event with projects on deep renovation. So this time we have the template titled 50 Shades of Industrial Deep Energy Retrofit. And in fact, what we try to do is come into kind of a mapping of all the barriers and challenges that we see nowadays with the experiences of our projects. So we have quite some projects involved. I'm quite proud of it. We have 8, 2 from the live Build Reno called BuildUPspeed and the Giga Regio Factory. Unfortunately, the last project is not represented today because the coordinator could not travel today, so I have to improvise a little bit for that. Then we have 3 sister projects from the call LCEB 04 2020, also on industrialization of building envelope, renovation kits, the Infinite project, the PLURAL project, the ENSNARE project. And then we have 2 older projects that already started in 2019. The Drive Zero project and the StepUp project. Both projects are in the finalizing phase. And we have a very interesting project also from 2019, the Switch2Save project. So, nice development of a portfolio of projects. This is, the title is 50 Shades of Industrial Deep Energy Retrofit. We have a nice statement in the abstract of the workshop. I'm not going to read this. But the most important thing is that we acknowledge that there's not one single way to come to industrialize deep energy retrofit. So there are different approaches, and that's why we call it 50 Shades of Deep Energy Retrofit. But what is quite important for us is that at this moment there are in Europe 7 industrial alliances of a high priority, one on raw materials, one on clean hydrogen, batteries, plastic, data edge and cloud, semiconductor, and the last one, renewable and low carbon fuel. But what we think is that the most important industrial alliance is missing, and that is an industrial alliance of deep energy retrofit. And today we will see if we can contribute with this workshop to make a next step in it. So again, the aim of the workshop is that we try to learn from what we did in the past. If I look to the Netherlands, there were quite some attempts to come to industrialized renovation, but also we saw many failures. We tried to see what kind of failures, how to overcome this, and in fact, what are the key conditions for establishing these deep renovation factories. We have 2 goals for this workshop. Hello, Mohammed. First of all, to identify the key challenges and key factors that now hinder the uptake of industrialization and also the establishment of deep renovation factories. And the second one is to identify examples of successful deep renovation factories that proved to have been successful in the past. I will be the chair. That means that I will do only the introduction. But more important is that we have 2 moderators for this discussion. Maria Sarah Maggio from ABT and Jean van Oorschot from Zuid University, both in the Netherlands. The expected outcome for us is that, again, we come with a positioning paper. We did that in 2021. It was highly appreciated by SENIA. And now it's very important because there are 1 or 2 events organized by SENIA on policy recommendations. And we hope that we have our paper ready for that. The first one is on September 25th, I think, so that we can give some input for that. The program, we start with welcome, we had that, and then we come to the most difficult part for the coordinators of these projects, a pitch of only 3 minutes of your project. That will be a very big challenge. We have a keynote from Jean van Oorschot. He's replacing Sébastien Delpont from Energiesprong France. And then we come to the the working part, 2 round tables of each 25-30 minutes, and then we come to a final remark and conclusions. Let's see how late we can do this, because we initially would like to start at 15:30, so 3:30, and we already passed the time. So I will start with the project pitches. The first one is from Giga Regio Factory. It's not a project that I'm working in, but unfortunately I have to replace Sebastian. So also listed here the why, how, and what's. So the main aim of Giga Regio Factory is to set up open source and free tools and facilitation of actions. And what is very interesting of this project that it is based on the lessons learned and the legacy of the Energiesprong. Energiesprong Netherlands, Italy, France, and Germany. This is one thing that could also contribute in the experiences that we have. How it is done by to open source tool for that aggregation plans. Then secondly, the total solution integrator and accelerator, and from there to the industrialization of the Giga Factory kit. Mainly they want to develop an open source tool for the qualification of houses to better qualify them and developing smarter aggregation strategies for large collective industrial renovation. And from this I come to the main outcomes and conclusions. First of all, this project started only in November last year, so many outcomes are not available yet. I will not read them all because I have to stay every 3 minutes, so you can read it. More important is what they see as proven approaches towards industrialization, and this is very much based on what we learned from Energiesprong. First of all, lean construction methods that could be applied, also full off-site retrofit solutions to be applied, a mix of off-site and traditional retrofit still happens many times, and projects that are aiming for net zero can be realized in 1 or 2 steps. It's also, we see it in the Netherlands with the so-called component renovation. It can be applied on individual housing, but also on collective housing. And testing have in place especially in social housing. The most important issues to be resolved are collecting updated data from different market players. I think this is a very important one because we are still lacking data. Data to be made public and to help market grow. Understanding this is also key in our workshop. There is not one single way to go industrial, and changing the habits in a matter of working together on the demand side and reconsidering TCO calculation. Did I do it in 3 minutes?
No, more, but it's fine.
Okay, sorry. Then you can try to do it for BuildUPspeed in 3 minutes.
Okay, so then we have BuildUPspeed. BuildUPspeed is a project funded under the LIFE program. It's a 3-year project. It started last year in November, and we are in the first year activities of the project. So what is it about? BuildUPspeed aims at accelerating the rate of renovation across Europe, at least, and it aims at doing that by bringing together the supply side and the demand side into the retrofitting market sector. So it leverages on 2 main aspects: the recent innovation from other EU projects that already addressed technological development and industrialization solutions that are focused on enhanced people-centered approaches. So it's really a capitalization project, not a new development project. And also the second pillar is to use the legacy of Energiesprong and to leverage on that legacy and to bring it further than the Netherlands, France, and Italy, as it's already ongoing. So BuildUPspeed will do that through the creation of a market activation platform that will be based on an inventory of needs of different stakeholder profiles of the demand sides, and then it leveraged on the key concept of the pop-up factory. So pop-up factory is a model to bring the renovation to the market in a streamlined way, and we are developing different scenarios of pop-up factory that could be implemented in the European countries, from district to satellite and remote factory. But really the main outcomes of the BuildUPspeed are to have 2 operational local pop-up factory at the end of the project, 5 blueprints, and 3 additional blueprints on the remote areas of this model. And we try to sort issues related to quality control and warranties of urban mined materials. That is still a big concern, and defining the business models of these different pop-up factory and so bringing to the market. So that's my pitch.
Okay.
Then
With the time?
Yeah. Good.
Good afternoon, this is Stefano Vesani from Europe, and I'm the coordinator of the ENSNARE project. We are working to, let's say, give solutions for the increasing of market uptake of industrialized deep retrofit of existing buildings. We are working on both, let's say, digital tools and technological solutions as 2 big families, let's say, of development, and also on the, let's say, I would say dissemination means. So how really to create a network, how to create probably a lobbying group to really push forward this industrialized approach for renovation in Europe. And yeah. So concerning the challenges, let's say, of industrialization. So we are in the phase after 3 years of project. We have still 2 years to run, more or less. We have tried a lot to work on, as an outcome, on stakeholders and needy stock analysis. So to ground, let's say, the development on the real needs. We have applied intensively life cycle assessment and life cycle costing to and design assembling and disassembling principles to develop technologies. Here, just 2 pictures of the mock-up. There is already beta version of a beam-based platform and a serious plugin to streamline the design of such industrialized retrofit. And as I said, last lines on the left, bottom left is soft developments. I mean, really networking, lobbying, and observatory and knowledge hub are, let's say, still under development. But by the end of the project, we'll be ready. What is, let's say, in our opinion, proven until now? So for sure, industrialized approach can reduce time and disturbance of the retrofit. For sure, less waste in the construction site and high share of possibly reuse, recycle, recover during manufacturing can occur. This is proven in our opinion. There is also a proven, let's say, problem in our opinion. So it's really missing a central brain probably for the management of this new approach. So in this sense, to close, the issues need to be resolved. We think are they needed to switch from let's say looking only at the economic investment to a, let's say, life cycle perspective. In this way, valorizing co-benefits or multiple benefits, let's say like this. And probably there is also an optimum to be searched. How much is the deep retrofit too much? In this sense that, let's say, adding things probably also in the retrofit sector or industrialized approach does not really help. Probably end of life, so circularity could play a role in the future. The transport still is a bottleneck, so the model of the pop-up factory for me is very interesting. And yeah, there's missing this, let's say, system integrator. Okay, thank you. Too long?
5 seconds.
I think I'm the next one.
Yes.
I have to hit the button. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Maria Funta. I'm from the National Technical University of Athens. and I'm the coordinator of the PLURAL project, which, as the title says, it targets the development of prefabricated hybrid facade systems, which we call plug and use because they take into account the user needs, targeting deep retrofitting towards NZ status of the building after the retrofit, cost-effective, fast-track, environmentally friendly renovation, and to develop a series of solutions that are flexible and adaptable. We are now approaching the end of the third year of the project, and we are entering the full-scale demonstration of the developments. We have developed 3 different systems, facade systems, which are called Smart Wall, Connex Wall, and then Comfort. I will show them to you very, very briefly because we don't have enough time. Apart from the technological developments, of course, we are developing a decision support tool based on IoT platform to support the designers and the real estate and building owners to choose the correct technology for the correct application, residential building, climatic zone building typology, environmental impact, and so on. As the other projects, we have done LCA, LCC to evaluate the key performance indicators. Just a very brief overview of the 3 core systems. The one on the top, which is called the Smart Wall, it's a very flexible system. We have identified in front of the project 10 variants. It consists of a frame which can be made out of metal or wood or any other material, gypsum boards or plaster boards or any other type of boards, and within the space created, you can have active fire suppression systems, automation systems, the location of a fan coil, and it is connected to a PV, which is part of the integrated facade, plus a battery for storage. The second system, which is called Connex Wall, it's based on a hydraulic application system. The piping, which you see in the picture, transfers heat or cold to the mass of the existing masonry wall of the building. And it is also supported by a heat pump PVs to create the heat needed to be transferred towards the building. And the last system is based on a folding facade system, and it incorporates an active heat exchanger for the regulation of the indoor air quality. I will focus more on what we have achieved in terms of industrialization. All 3 of these systems have been manufactured using the lean management system, and as part of the common approach for the manufacturing of these 3, we have, for each of them, developed a toolbox of interactive tooling actions for the different tasks that take place during the manufacturing. These tasks have been evaluated, corrected. The loop has been repeated for each task. Have to finish?
Yes.
Yes.
And the important thing, what we have found out is that the lean manufacturing methodologies can reduce time, cost, and can be applied for this type of pre-manufactured components. You can see on the bottom what it is still missing, and we will discuss it further afterwards.
Thank you, Maria.
Okay. Next project, that's the ENSNARE project. Not yet. I switched a little bit here. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all here. My name is Pedro Zabal. I'm from Tecnalia. I'm the coordinator of this ENSNARE project. It's the 3rd project that is sister of Infinite and PLURAL, so we have many similarities. So part of the things that we are dealing with have already been commented by Stefano and by Maria. I will try to highlight what is a bit different from in our case. So ENSNARE stands for Envelope Mesh and Digital Framework for building renovation. So building renovation is common for all of us, focus on residential buildings and so on. But the main idea, the main philosophy in this project is we do have products, and that's a family of developments that we are dealing with, and we have digital solutions, that's the other family. And it's important to provide a framework that interconnects both. So because you can have a very good, powerful product, but if it's not properly designed, installed, and operated, it could be worthless. And on the other side, also when you design, you also want to know what are the capabilities and what are the possibilities of the current technologies in the market. So that's mainly the idea, and we are developing in this building component framework products for the facade, integrating renewable technologies, solar technologies, and in the other part, in the digital tool part, we are dealing with data capturing techniques, design tools supporting the design process, and also tools to support the operation of the buildings. So, what did we found that is interesting here also? There is no one universal solution that fits them all, but a set of multiple alternatives, and it's also very important to understand the possibilities of connecting those and how we can adapt our technologies to our projects. And also, we've been also discussing about how important is the interrelation between stakeholders, how important it is to make the process sufficiently interconnected. And here industrialization is key, because you have to think things in advance. You cannot go to on-site and just think how you are going to combine both. So that's why it's very powerful philosophy, let's call the industrialization. But still, many things also to be resolved. The current view, short-term view of considering the intervention just as the acquisition cost, it hints a lot the potentiality that we have, because we have to put into value that the initial investment is then returned thanks to the incorporation of renewable technologies. We don't have all the answers neither in terms of the life expectancy of our solutions, but we do have ideas and things to combine both. So we know that solar technologies have one life expectancy and facades have the other. So we are designing things into layers so that we can change during the life cycle and so on. And yeah, I cannot explain everything, but there are some pictures showing the prototypes that we've been dealing with. We started with the concept, we then tested, and we are now in the scaling up process. And yeah, similarly with the digital tools, we still are in progress. Thank you.
Oh, the next one is for me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Drive Zero project. And it's especially about making solutions that already have been developed in previous projects more circular. So, in fact, we are building upon the legacy of other projects on deep renovations, such as More Connect and for new, but then try to make the solutions more circular. So this also, what we also do is to do that from a very user-centered approach. So we also work with anthropologists to see how we can make these solutions also acceptable for people. We have quite some outcomes. We have a lot of circular products on redevelopment by our factories. We have quite some factories, Webo, Tembeco, Factory Zero, Aliva, Vision Build from Ireland, Knauf Insulation, Slovenia. And we also have developed some tools and methods for assessing the level of circularity, so you can also see to which extent these products are circular, like the Easy tool, the development of a design for disassembly tool, in which you can assess details if they are circular or not in terms of detachability. And also we have a circular benchmarking of buildings and building environmental assessment, building circularity indicators, and DFD criteria. We also have a method for a morphological design approach, guidelines for modular circular deep renovation. So it's a kind of a morphological design process guide. We also developed circular business models, and we also made some tools, especially for end users like do-it-yourself catalog, and we have also a website, typically for homeowners, which you can see here, circularhomes.eu. And we have 7 demonstration buildings in Estonia, Greece, Ireland, Italy, the Netherlands, Slovenia, and Spain. And all these demonstrators have been realized, except for the Netherlands. This is now under construction. Proven approaches, preconditions essential for enhancing overall quality and efficiency of industrialized projects. This is the first one. Technical implementation of industrially produced shell retrofits and integrated ventilation heating systems. This is a proven approach. And also some smaller scale single issue renovation items like window frames, heat pumps, cavity wall insulation. Installing makes still a lot of man hours, and this is a part that still has to be further industrialized. Some issues to be resolved: fostering transparency in procurement. There's no level playing field for new innovations. Scaling the production of retrofits in order to make production more profitable and increase quality, and also integrate the single issue renovation items, increasing the speed of these interventions. And one of the main problems that we face is that we have to create scale in order to industrially incorporate urban mining materials, new products aimed at renovations. And also what needs to be explored are new organization structures for contracting. And this is my pitch for Drive Zero. Then we come to StepUp, our sister project.
Well, hello, it's David from Eureka, and I'm part from the StepUp project. So basically, the StepUp project aims to foster the deep renovation in the EU building stock. And I would say that we have many strategies to develop this objective, but today we will focus in one of the technologies, which is a plug-and-play module for PLURAL, which is also with the capability to be integrated with other third-party products. But I would like also to highlight what are the other colleagues doing in the project and which kind of other strategies we have in the project, which is we are doing this kind of methodology in the project to make the renovation more attractive and reliable. Then also we are developing a new innovative financial model to foster the renovation. And also these kind of prefabricated systems for sure are made to minimize the on-site time, to accelerate the renovation in the market, and so on. But the technology I will present today is this plug-and-play module. It's produced by Mani Group in the frame of the project. Basically, what are you showing? But I mean, it's not really clear in the picture, but it's a light steel frame where a sandwich panel is attached. And then another layer in the exterior part is attached, which is a ventilated chassis. So basically, this module completes the plug-and-play module, which I'm talking about. And then, through a smart anchoring system, we are attaching this element to the existing buildings. So the good fact of having this sandwich panel is that we also can add some openings and some holes. And also we can introduce third-party products, such as windows, PV panels. We tried also foldable blinds, and so on. It's a never-ending story because there are many capabilities to install. I would also like to add that in between the joint of the panels, we develop a system to include the facilities, so which it's more easy for a deep renovation project, which is sometimes a project that we can find. And also the panel has a really high transmission U value, so it makes the renovation better. So the main outcome, I would say, that is like we produce and we developed this plug-and-play facade. It's a system that it's easy to install, which is proof. Improves the energy performance, but we would like to test this in a real environment. We're building now 2 pilots, and we monitor all the building or such a small part of the facade. And then one of the outcomes is that the module itself allows the installation of these third-party products, as I told you. Then the industrialization included in the retrofitting environment includes kind of a lack of knowledge in the sector nowadays. So we find that we don't have installers prepared for that, at least in the pilot we did. So we need some preliminary works that increase the cost of the project to install the panel at the end. And also, I would like to add, and this is the last sentence I did, that sometimes the difficulties to include third-party products in the panel are really high because the companies don't want to share knowledge. So this is more or less the main outcomes that I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you. Elaine, the floor is yours.
So, hello everyone. My name is Eleni Goni. I will be presenting Switch2Save project, which deals with the challenge of increased energy demand in buildings with high window-to-wall ratio. The project is funded by Horizon 2020. It has a duration of 4 years. We are now in the last months of the project. 10 partners involved, and it is coordinated by Fraunhofer Institute. So, the challenge is increased energy demands in buildings with large glass facades. And we know that between 25 and 60% of energy transfer is done through transparent components. Especially when it comes to heating, buildings with high window-to-wall ratio have an increased demand of up to 35%. And when we're talking about cooling, large glass areas can mean an increase in the cooling demands to a factor of 1.5 up to 5. So that's big. And it's basically non-residential office buildings that present this kind of characteristics. And it doesn't mean that we don't also have residential buildings with large openings that could benefit from this technology. So what Switch2Save does, it targets the active management of radiation transfer from transparent building components. And it does so by integrating energy smart transparent materials that have a switchable energy transmission. And this is also combined by intelligent switching protocols. We have been developing, therefore, electrochromic and thermochromic smart insulating glazing units. These are integrated in standard insulating glazing units that can be easily integrated in window components or glass facades. And they also, apart from the energy savings, they also mean that there are increased enhanced comfort conditions for the building occupants in terms of lighting comfort and thermal comfort. It's important to note here that the replacement of windows and glasses with this technology doesn't require any specific expertise. It can be done without specific training. We are demonstrating and testing the developed prototypes in both controlled environments, testing environments, but also in fully operational buildings and in virtual buildings to ensure that there is a replication potential throughout Europe. With respect to the outcomes, we have different configurations that can be produced using these technologies. So we can have electrochromic cells, which is basically that are applied on a film that is later laminated on an outer pane of a window. and this is an active system because it comes together with it has a small with a small voltage. You can control the amount of visible and infrared radiation that enters the building. We can have just thermochromic cells applied on thin film, on thin glass that is integrated on the glass unit, and this controls just the infrared radiation. And we can have a combination of both. You see here in the list different configurations of windows. Sorry, yes. So moving to the proven approaches for industrialization, it's obviously there are proved energy savings with these systems, up from 10 to up to 35%. It can be very easily integrated. It has a very low disruption. There is also a high amount of flexibility with respect to the control systems, the switching protocols. A good thing is that we have actually contributed to the development of standard for testing durability of electrochromic glazing. With respect to industrialization issues to be resolved, a big issue is how to monetize the co-benefits from implementing such a technology, because it's not just about energy savings. It's also the improvements that you have in the quality of the indoor environment. And this cannot be easily calculated. I mean, we have been doing at the same time a calculation of the cost payback period, but this is not taken into account. And it is an important aspect because you increase productivity, you increase the well-being of residents. Other issues to be resolved, certification needs, standardization testing methods, breakdown of the value chain. It's very important. We need to further harmonize the activities of the value chain to reduce production time and production failures. And there is always a mistrust of new users and new technologies, and we have to address this. And for this, we need more real-scale demos to show issues, to build confidence with respect to maintenance, operation, and lifetime of any new technology. And this, yeah. For now, am I missing something?
Okay.
Thank
you. So these were all the pictures that we have, and of course not exactly in time, but we did our best. So we continue now with a short keynote from John van Oorschot about industrialization. John. Also, try to respect the time.
Yes, I will try to do that. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, my name is John van Oorschot. I'm from Zuid University, and yeah, unfortunately, our keynote Sebastian was not able to join us for today. So yeah, Peter asked me to take over the keynote and elaborate a little bit about my view about industrialization, also some building upon some experience of the things we have done the last couple of years. So having a look at the industrialization, I think there are a lot of definitions, and we are all working on the industrialization. So I can be very short, but industrialization in house building or in deep renovation, well, the key aim is raising efficiency, raising the level of customization and the level of sustainability. I think this is at the key of rationalizing the industrialization in the housing, house building, and also in deep renovation. And a key aspect of that is raising building upon the principle of mass customization. I always refer to industrialized housing system or deep renovation systems. You can interchange those words with the application of mass customized principles to construct or to renovate housing. And what they are building upon two key issues. It involves in the first place on-site and off-site production methodologies and within a really controlled environment. So there is a high, well-coordinated, integrated system in place from start of the project at initiation until the real execution of the work on site. And it's, normally it's based on, you cannot even read it, but there is core technologies or prefabricated elements, so ranging from facade elements, but also including building surface skids, and also for really some finishing in the of the housing. Having said that, the screen is really messed up. I don't know what happened, but we are talking about industrialization in the housing sector for years, and every period there is this wave of new interest for industrialization. But the key issue is that industrialization in practice has a poor track record. It has a history of failures, and one of the most famous failures is quite recently in the beginning of the century, the 2000s. There was an investment by NCC Komplett, a firm in Sweden, who invested over 30 million in a really prefab housing system, but shortly after it got bankrupt. And I think you can find examples in every EU country about failures that didn't, systems that did not make it. It dropped out in market in 2007. There are some examples, however, which were in the market or still in the market for quite some time. And then the question is, why is this the case? This is an example from the Netherlands, from the biggest contractor in the Netherlands, which supply terraced housing to the market, and they have a fully standardized and highly industrialized process of offering new housing in the market. So you have a really standardized construction process with some elements which are still labor on site, but most of the elements are really highly prefabricated and standardized. And despite all the high level of standardization, you still can offer a large variety of buildings. But to me is really surprising is that they have really a low profile. Nobody's referring to this housing system in the media, and that's for a reason. What I did in the last couple of years to have a longitudinal case perspective, why is this housing system so successful in the market? And what I found is a kind of key success indicators or preconditions, which need to be met. First, this is how they develop the system. The development started in 1990, and it started with first having a good understanding of what does it mean to produce housing in an industrialized way, and they tried to standardize as much as possible the production process, focusing on these four issues. And when they really fully controlled the house building process from start of the project until its project delivery, they start offering more variety. So they standardized the variety they offered. There's various types of facade designs, for example, and they offered options. And more recently, they also start to differentiate in the options they provide, and also they add a range of services to the platform, the industrialized housing platform, and to also offer people support in finishing their housing, moving them in, trying to develop the garden, or so a lot of type of services they have add to that platform. So they start even improving over time since the 1990 the level of customization of the product that they deliver to the market. I have to use this one. Well, then the preconditions you need to meet to be successful with industrial housing. And one of the key issues is scale and scope, offering scale and scope and claiming what we have scale, we have scope, so there is now the time for industrialization. That's not enough. That's not really a precondition. And you see this wave happening in the Netherlands. I was already referring it. But the last wave was already in 2003. It was really booming. Demand was going up, so there was time for that. But yeah, this really collapsed during the Euro crisis shortly after. It was the end of most of the housing factories. And nowadays we are in better economic conditions. There was a real big demand for housing. Only in the Netherlands we need to construct 1 million new houses. And now our minister, let's start industrialize the construction process. So in 20 years, we're trying to redo it. But yeah, what is needed is not only to provide scale and scope, but you need to meet some preconditions. What I learned from that the case I just described. First of all, it's not a revolutionary process, but an evolutionary process. It starts with really understanding the process of offering housing in an industrialized way to the market. That is how this contractor started, trying to learn and improve every time, step by step. So it's really a growing step-by-step approach. You need to adhere to the principle of a territory local economy. So even the Netherlands is a small country, every region differ. So you need to address that, so in time and in location. What is really important is that you establish a coherent organization and management there, because industrialization, that depends on a well-coordinated planning and control system. Finally also, you need to keep a low-cost profile, so you need to be competitive with other contractors in the field offering housing. And still at the same time also be able to address changing market needs. Now then, how can we? This was new build, but how can we learn and apply these principles in the deep renovation market? Well, for this, what I borrow from our project BuildUPspeed, which I'm also taking part in. That's how we established the local pop-up factory. And the local pop-up factory is really adhering to the principle of the territorial economy. So the production is depending on the context in time and place, and that is something you really have to adhere to. In line with doing it step by step, you need to grow, you need to mature in developing the solutions, take a step-by-step approach, a learning curve to go through it. Establishing only a system is often too radical if you not understand what's needed from start to end of the project. And the implementation itself is a wide range of services and production facilities. So that's also what you have to take into account. Now, what we established is 5 different types of local pop-up factories with different levels of industrialization. How these 5 types, I will not dive into these 5 scenarios one with one, but these scenarios differ in the level of on-site and off-site activities, and they differentiate between the manufacturing, assembly, and the services provided. Now, to give you a little bit more detail and context in how they have to approach the market. So more glasses and more water.
In case you're thirsty.
Yeah. Okay. What is how the solutions are offered to the market, that they can really distinguish between a more collective offer to the market, to a collective development of the organized demand to a very individualistic approach. And well, this is how we met our different scenarios. What you have to take into account, and the screen is not very sharp, is that it's really this means to the revision of the supply chain setup. What is different from a traditional setup, but there is a big role to play for a new kind of actor, and that's the system integrator, connecting the various prefab elements into a coherent building design. And it's not only has implications for how you organize the supply chain, it also means a total revision of the construction process. And this is what this slide is indicating. So it's really a reset of the task and responsibility throughout the construction process. Almost at the end, I think it's important that you organize yourself to in a different way. So it has big implications not only for the technologies, the design of facade elements, but you also need to take into account some complementary developments are related to the construction process and also to the supply chain setup. So it's a really complementary set of innovations you have to focus on, not only technology design, in order to benefit from these industrialized approach, specifically to these gains you can get from the industrialized renovation approach. Yes, I think it is most what I have to share with you at this moment. I think we can go start working on the
workshop. Yeah, so thank you everyone for your inspiring presentation. Now we hope we can make use of this inspiration to delve deeper into the workshop, which is divided into parts. So we have the first part, the first half an hour will be assigned to collect all the barriers of the deep renovation that you've experienced in your project, that you're aware of. So we'll try to do that in 10 minutes. We'll give you some post-its. The red post-its are for the barriers. Then the next step will be to organize these barriers according to the category they belong to. Are these cost and value related barriers? Are these political barriers? And we have assigned a border on with this categorization. So if you look at the left board with the blue notes, you can assign the category of the barriers that belong to. And then we will ask every participant to give to name 3 barriers that are the most relevant in their experience to the industrialized renovation. So you will have some rounded stickers to add to those barriers on that board. The rest of the time, so we have the data collection, then we have 15 minutes to discuss the results and the outcome of this first part. And yeah, we'll look at the answers you have provided. And last half an hour will be dedicated to analyzing the precondition, the one that John also introduced. What are these preconditions to overcome the barriers to the renovation? So the same framework, we'll have 10 minutes to collect the preconditions, then we organize them by category, and then we discuss together the most important preconditions that we can propose. So yeah, we'll have the round table afterwards to discuss this as well. So you can stand up and we can start the more interactive part of the session. And if you have questions, just ask me and John for any doubts. I think, John, we can share the stickers, give the stickers for collecting the answer.
is mainly focused on new builds.
The second part is on new build, so.
Most of it is on
No, the second part of the presentation on renovation.
yeah, but you can really distinguish. That I see in your approach is a very macro. Most of the buildings are what we call systems.
Yeah, I didn't dive into that in the presentation, but we have an idea for that that's what we do in the BuildUPspeed project. We distinguish at the project level the local context. But we find that you have to do preconditions.
We have to discuss it a lot because it's not the time now, but
Yeah.
we need to discuss a lot of the things, especially how we envisage the industrialization. Because in our experience, about the system projects, we have the same things with low costs, with low very good levels. And we can discuss what are the problems.
Yeah, I did I also have a look at various deep innovation concepts already where at very high and so there's also the scope selling for in the Netherlands we have this fully industrialized deep innovation to the entire building. But they are not really maturing or really boosting innovation wave because they're still
All these concepts of one in Netherlands or another countries, it's not so much for innovation.
have a strong side is deep innovation.
The ones I know, I'm mostly especially you know very well that the economic crisis with the especially the economies of digitalization, how to manufacture something that they don't that existing. There are a lot of things, and we can discuss with these things. I don't want to monopolize.
Yeah. They can also
I don't more because if we don't do different categories, better.
You want to have 3%
You can, no.
One per post-it or?
All the ones you want.
you are in actually is relatives and
So one on each.
Yeah.
One.
So if there is a cost,
Okay.
technical communication.
Hello, Miguel. How are you? Nice to see you again. How are you? I didn't see you before. No, but I didn't see you in the break. Let's sit down.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, that's okay. Let's see if I can Yeah, I'm sure it was for that. Yeah, and it was and
Maria Sara, and we also suppose this.
This part for now, yes.
Yeah.
And, start the discussion.
I know we will close this one year average construction project timelines. Too long. Yes. You elaborate?
Yeah, we already considered the highest score doing in France. We make offers and then there's 100 takeovers over 7 years and there's a very end that we should do that and that's in the process of budget. There's some work on it. So the fact that we have to go in bid and wait so long, the cash flow cycle and trying to stay in business cycle is difficult. And also it's innovation. So if I'm gonna have a local pop-up factory, that local pop-up factory pops up and then the project is sits there 4 years. All culinary works, buildings, there for installers. Yeah, can you elaborate?
Yeah, so basically what we take in the pilot in the real scenario of the StepUp project is once we make the procurement, the system we propose apparently is less expensive than a traditional construction. But that involves that you have to take into account a lot of preliminary works to reach the need for the system. So we hold more or less the same price as the traditional construction, independent of the components. But in the two countries we started, Hungary and Spain, we put something like sometimes traditional construction.
We can't stand in private. Industrialized. Oh, which should be there? Very good.
So, yeah, the value chain problem for the effects of the real estate equipment and the brain stakeholder that is able to take care of the process. Why this? Because nobody will take the decision. And because the process becomes too heavy, everyone would like to be just the supplier of more or less the business. And so there's that big value chain.
Actually, we will find some comments here, and the other category which also concern the climate change. It's common that the projects, the lack of the hardware ways to organize climate change. What we need to discover is that if manufacturers production well organized, they become more expensive. They become more produce elements and not their responsibility. So that's something that nobody wants to take up responsibility for something for which they have no experience and for which several countries not with regulatory innovation. So lack of confidence in the value chain, or lack of standardization or harmonization for any concern, which also for me feels which should be based on the interactive process between the established chains of this value chain.
Of course, the barriers, of course, also still too high, co-benefits, and one of the values. Vision for industrialized, not be comparable. Work on,
The beginning probably will never up to the industrialized approach less. At this point, I like here, but probably we have to work on benefits and quality. So, agriculture, I would say,
I think that's the thing that's also correct. I feel the building, but if you have a different culture, like food to take care of the what you can assure the quality, then you can buy it.
And that's also about that.
Yeah.
Right, so-
The methodology and the tools for demonstration there, I will bring that. But
More intense.
Yeah, I see also something about scale and scope, yeah, upscaling and production and so on. Cost increase, yeah, we can optimizing and is drop significantly. Yeah, increase and time savings discussed. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, preliminary works, plus prefab solutions, the same level of solution lights, high costs, especially for residential. Okay, yes, there goes one.
I think it was a mix from StepUp. So here when we face that some somehow the residential customers or the owners of the buildings, they could not afford the amount of money related to the construction of these kind of systems, more or less.
Okay, this compare two mortgages to the
Not compared for the traditional construction in space.
okay, I think it's very clear. And lack of expertise, skill and knowledge in the sector, lack of specialized workers, yeah, lack of standards, we refer to it, high risk for contractors. Okay, then okay, then what do you, what's the kind of risk for you referring?
Yeah, instead of like when I experience people, some contractors because they have not seen this kind of technology before. So it's definitely a high risk of following this technology, accurately creating the works, making sure that there's no space issues. There's a high risk for them to do something that is wrong and that increases the cost of the
Yeah.
Is limited to the construction process.
Yes, it's expected to allow anyone who is inside it's prepared because they don't have it, so they do it. Yes, that's a.
There are many,
Yeah.
you have to go through a learning curve, yeah,
Yeah.
before you can,
Yeah.
really boost it. So what I'm, I mean, surprised me a little bit is that here, more, and discovery, yeah, because visualization can also be motor education and how to do it, and the awesome. That can also be what is building knowledge. I don't think it's really on that.
So we are taking the way we need,
Yeah.
and you are also making research on services, lots of applications from the way to work, and provide more integrated concept and also to understand the implications of the work.
Yeah.
So,
And it's a relocation of skills for the okay.
more than missing the really strategic vision for new business. Some of them go really to put the development before and
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
and they are the owners of the product and the good and the things. So maybe always so the owner of the brand or anyone or whatever, they have the product, they are the owners of the product, and then they design and then they start splitting the system and they make the whole production, and they subcontract under their own requirements and so on to the end. They have the control of the product, of the process, and they do have the retrofit, because in the end they are the ones that they are going to sell, and they are the ones that are providing the quality. So they also bring that quality to the suppliers, etc. They are like on the top.
Yeah, I think the difference is not most of the other players control that. Yes, his whole position, his power is in the industry of the machines. And very,
That makes it.
and then it's able to have to work together, get housing with the town. We always have to grow. Because we maybe can get back to those positions to both companies and not be very valuable. You have to make it quite hard to have this. If you have visionary, which really has the skills of the nice, then you have it.
And I want something to write to it. A very big industry, very and produce industrial it started with Monday since the last 15 years. And for them it was a strategic decision to change the scope. For instance, they're using one chemicals, plasterboard, some kind of a board. For them, it's a strategic decision to change the scope of their company to go to this economic model. We are no longer because in studies for more contribution, that will be a motivation. And that's the reason. As mentioned, economic crisis change the markets. The market, the target markets, is a very important part because we are doing businesses. With a very big capacity to replicate in different countries. And the target markets have to be so big that they can afford investing. And I know that as we've done in some countries, but the economic situation in Europe is quite challenging.
So it also comes to mind, the automotive sector, I was thinking about trees, whatever you do, whatever the challenge, all that's just that they doesn't stop. And trees first have to guarantee what's there.
But actually, what I mentioned, the regulation is a key thing. And as you know, the things where is digitized. So really, the digitization can progress quite fast. The regulation, there are still a lot of barriers to be overcome.
That's why we get rid of the regulatory and building codes. Yeah, you need to acquire local building permits. Level for regulation, harmonize performance, legislations, and add-ons on the public spellings, and we also it's well in numerator. Okay.
For instance,
We have been demonstrating the qualities and critical practice, practical studies. It's going to be totally different idea of the project, especially regarding the structural performance, the fire performance. The energetic performance is more or less regular, but some structural fire house. And the president is active for the ministry or storage.
Next degree about industry and market culture, legal barriers is mentioned there, difficulty in altering existing production lines to improve field component systems. Yeah. Solution must be adapted to the building. Okay. Lack of knowledge of the systems in the construction sector. And for sharing culture with companies. And yeah. Yes, and knowledge that goes into I think especially before is to make change was consolidation. Lack of long-term view or on the return of investment. Yeah. Okay, that. Lack of trust from end users, also in lifetime operations and maintenance. Yeah, so you can one of the audience, I think, yes. Supporting procurements, difficulties in Spanish regulations on describe specific products in construction. Yeah. Yeah, many of you come from Spain.
No,
Yeah.
if you take Germany, for instance, state is a different regulatory framework. Even Germany does not have the
Yeah. Lack of skill caused by intransparent procurement in relation to regulation. No level playing field. Trust.
This is
Yeah.
consumer would not come to is not a certificate, but not the standards to ensure
I'm curious, is this a way to deal with this in the procurement? You can go directly demand, of course, this project, of course, can say construction site it should be very short, and you need to do it in this way. So, anyone makes a suggestion how to go together?
the site village.
Yeah.
And of course, the interference with the user, as well as the policy, the GDPR, loss of profit, it's new. We rely on project in solving one day for one time. Especially if it's external integration.
Just fast and
Then, I mean, the GDPR is something that we then problems with open access, using the hardware, is although with the file, we know
completely the way how we are to make a improvement and this is the experience as a designer. So the thing is, the architect usually provides the solution, the project it changed completely the way how you plan the renovation of the building. So maybe the procurement should allow an initial phase to all architect, industry, company at the same time, which is what it works nowadays in the private sector. So usually when you are facing a private project, the companies are trying to find an architect, an industry, and a construction company that will do the other thing. They don't want to waste time in on-site. This is like about if this is working or if it's not working. So the public sector is really behind that right now. So, and also leaves the architect and designers away from the solution. As far as I know, I'm not really expert in this field, but there are some smart, let's say, or cognitive financial models that what they are trying to do is to take all the stakeholders, one, to see the investment, and how to make this reliable. I mean, in terms of the own, I mean, you take all the stakeholders, you see the installation will be cost effective or not in the future. And third is the first step in everything.
Procurement promotes fragmentation. I think that I think in terms of the thought that an architecture firm design a contractor bring a bid, change hands with the contractor. You just have fragmentation all over the model. I think these things can actually was right in procurement and cost cutting and construction. We have the municipalities that are taking the schools and starting for 30 years. And that same firm can actually, figure all of those things out. And they're decentralized at a low cost and that's another solution. So if you don't have a bottom up kind of to break through all these barriers, it would be nice if more of those municipalities would say, just because they're all these good players or whoever would form the teams that actually allow us to do the concept. Yeah. So power category, we move on. Look at sports, yes. We go down boundaries, separation between reality and research. Okay, that's really cool. Yeah. And I think there was gaps in information, yes, that piece. It's fine. Regulation. Okay. Regulation. Yeah. Okay. Put up some incentives. Yeah. value chain, no radiation or coordination with the architects.
Yeah, we already discussed that.
And no organized value chain. We already. Okay. Then I'd like you to ask you to do that. You those in.
Before that's done, maybe you can ask everyone to keep the most important word here.
Yeah.
But these ones, the preliminary answers, so they really most important, if you think it's and then
Yeah, I want to ask you that. So, yeah, so before read those the three most important values, you consider the three most important values. And those and try to see what are the three conditions for reaching the high level of industrialization and deep renovation model. So we are more oriented on the solutions here. So you can use the categories here, the syntax categories to see so I'm through doing three stickers here on this board. And post this for your field most document barriers. Then we will do on the post itself. Yeah.
Yeah. I did it from the model, we updated this moment. Yes, exactly.
Let's wrap up also the final work, so we can still just give now some the conditions. I think that most of the conditions are quite straightforward, and the monitoring, pre-efficient, unification of the value chain, cost. I think it's most are aiming to focus on the added value and how to progress just by your project.
Standard now. There are a lot of people interested in this. So it's not just energy efficiency, we're all stuck on this energy efficiency plus carbon and legal plus carbon. How do we agree, but calculate that?
Yeah. Progressing curve, yeah, so we scale up the production
so many things that are but they're not trained.
Yeah.
So how we continue that's perspective.
Yeah. Yes. And these skills, yeah, digital technology teach workers in innovative solutions, yeah, and help them in taking competition, more training, yeah, take forward, logistics site operations, smart factories, big applications, yeah, of course, will be available for projects across Europe, factories, also in line with that. New organizational structures. Yeah. Straightforward. Then regulatory. Yeah, and learn from other already application taxation. Program commission is so affects and kind of guarantee fund innovation. Yeah. That's policy for specifications that the referral figure taxonomy. Okay, here is an example projects over this million. We'll have a bit model. We have to do it. So it really has been, so they went from 100 million to 10 million to 1 million. So those guys have everything we're talking about, now shall do, then you do. Yeah, I suppose it may can force production of this component. Use something for those. Yeah. Yeah. Industry markets, culture, governmental incentives, digital signature passports, industrialized systems, and how to create.
From the industry point of view, of course, producing, we need the market to change. That's it.
Okay. Coordinate actor, right? Make the, yeah, we coordinate are these projects focused on demonstrating case studies, application? Let's focus on new sources or more on the reputation. Yeah. Yeah. Supplying procurement, just the market later acting as central brain for this in there. It takes responsibilities. That will be aligned with the coordinator. And you've got a actor in supply chain. Work with local industries, power, circularity, and reduce transport costs. Okay. Project driven flagship projects. 30 years to try to build, yeah, operate, yeah, for example, the schools. That's also export building. The same line, yeah, those the rents, yeah. More integration of construction. Okay.
Under the same group, so that it's going to be mediator or this entity, but
kind of one-stop shop approach. Okay, next. There's mediator. Demonstration project, speed. Yes. Final inquiry, elaborate on data, question value chain, value previous experiences, Sunday, design assembly, simplify. Specifications always for giving up. Reliable and effective solutions, move beyond. Yeah, okay. Okay, somebody missing something? An interesting barrier over there, which was the difference between real world and research. And it's actually a good job because the problem is that we need some experts that can connect the dots and prove there are elsewhere. The researchers are expert in industrialization or commercialization, and those aren't the experts in sustainability. So, we're not really marketing experts. We don't want people to put TV, people, never in our projects, but if they were, it would be all over Europe. So maybe we need some true experts that aren't us that actually know how to really connect really
We always do that, and for us, it's a game changer, because they know what we will go with. For example, in Maple, in Estonia, working on the side zero, Babel, they still have barriers, but they know what they're talking about. We only think that they're talking about.
In that sense, the term construction marketing is exist. You look at in scientific you can find it. Yeah, that's interesting. Because maybe it's something
Maybe a success story called Zero, which will help in Estonia. We realized that two large landscapes from the previous and the success of that was recent for the Estonian government starting a new funding program for renovation. It's quite successful, but it was linked also with financial programs and index. So there are examples, quite happy with the contribution that was successful. But not because of us as researchers, but these industries. Yeah. Last remarks for the run things. Again, ask you
that other kind of simple for low tech and low complexity. The probably all European code ask for more simplicity. That's why we put everything in and finding
maybe the wisest words of this word. So, yeah. No, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we experienced also the major project. Yeah, so final exercise. Select the most important recommendations. Yeah, you can, it doesn't matter. You can also take yellow or blue. But that's don't use the red. Any color can color is fine. Yeah, so we are at the end of the workshop. We have thank you all for your contributions. There will be a follow-up where we try to dive into the results of the workshop with and also share for your yeah, we will send the coordinating yeah, of course, yeah. Okay, thank you all.
Just gonna have to dictate.
Are there any plans for?
From now on. So if you want to do for Natasha, we're very happy to see one right now. Yeah.
We will have
Yeah. I think I will.
I am available. We said
Something's up. Stephanie, will you send a message? Where you go?
WhatsApp group. Yeah.
But do you have a timeline?
If you want to, we all
I
have.
have a meeting. So maybe I can.
Because we have those other buildings.
It's like you have students, but also it's named
Okay. We will manage it. We're still finishing the other one. There are some parts that are still undergoing, so we need to do it. No, for me, what's that idea?
But I think we will manage.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I will still have to write an editorial.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, no. It's yeah, but I feel yeah, it's
You will not met me, doesn't. I'm the only one.
So, I guess you will stay this next year.
Or is organizing now
But we are planning for this journey.
I will go on the street. He was suggesting a lasagna.
You put that into
Maracana.
well, I don't know, right? You just have to walk around and find a place outside.
We meet at the out of the subway station.
Yeah, the one, one of the closest one is named Bilbao.
Let's meet there.
No, it's nice.
Okay, so we need,
There's a lot of family.
we need outside.
Let's meet there.
Yes.
We don't know whether it's in the What time do we meet?
I have to meet a couple of friends, but I just waiting if I will see you these days around here. Okay. We will have a okay, thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Thank
Tomorrow you will be outside going
Yeah.
over. Yeah. See you tomorrow.
What time do we meet?
I think they were when they want to meet up.
I'm not sure.
You don't know if you
Yeah. To see how here he is. One day of walking.
7:30.
Okay, but I knew there was something now. See.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
For the,
Are you going to be around tomorrow?
Yes, I'll be here.
Bye,
See you
everybody.
tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.